Welcome back, Houston. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My Monday, your Tuesday, let's go for it. So, how should I start today's video off? Welcome back with Morris, okay? I want to start off by saying today's video is going to be a little different, just a little bit different. City Hall is going to reconvene today. This is their Tuesday meeting. It's going to start around about 10 o'clock. Can't wait for that to happen. Can't wait to see what people are saying. Can't wait to know what's going on within the city, what the plans are, what the plans not going to be, all that other great stuff. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to hear who lying, who ain't lying, what we talking about, because it's going to be very interesting until May. Just because there's so many people about to get fired during this point in time and period, okay? And I think today's video is going to be about deletion. Deletion. And the reason it's going to be about deletion is because we're seeing it everywhere, right? It's not just with deleting jobs. We're not seeing it deleting DI. We're not seeing it just in bankrupting some of the companies that just haven't been making it for a long time, right? They're not just being deleted. Y'all let me know. I think Southwest is getting rid of one bag free. It had been doing that for on either a decade or over a decade at this point. And all of a sudden that's being deleted. We're seeing stock market growth deleted. We're seeing jobs deleted. So on the local level and the federal level, all this is happening within this moment, okay? So when people want to talk about deletion, we're seeing deletion in, like I said, DEI. We're seeing it in history. People are deleting things left and right. The problem is that when you delete something, you make it seem like didn't nobody know it ever existed. Well, that makes no sense, because now you're telling me that my mind is playing tricks on me. So you can't delete something that's existed at one point in time and be like, well, we should have never had it to begin with. It was a reason that we had it. And that's called deletion of history, right? So the only reason DEI becomes a thing is because people don't really understand what the real definition of it was, because somehow, some way, someone's deleted the real definition of it. So now you don't even know what it really means. I had a conversation with a friend the other day about wokeism and what wokeism really meant. When people deleted the real definition of wokeism, now all of a sudden you got everything that's woke. If you believe in the LGBTQ plus community, that's wokeism. No, it wasn't. That was never a part of that. When you believed in white guilt, that was never part of wokeism. Wokeism was a saying amongst African Americans on the actual history of black people. Black people history just don't start with slavery. I know everyone likes to teach it in this little 400-500 years little segment, but black history starts at the beginning of time. And if you know anything about the beginning of time, then you already know that it starts in Africa. Now, you might debate that Egypt starts it, or you might debate that the Kush Empire was a part of Egypt, so all of it started within that one little region. I don't want to have a debate about it, but I'm just telling you, when you delete history, people forget what it actually means. So wokeism was not a mainstream idea. Wokeism came from African Americans reminding each other where your history actually belongs. Your history doesn't just stop and end in slavery. It stops and ends from the very beginning of time and has continued on and has never ended yet. That was wokeism. That's what woke means. That African Americans know our own history. It had nothing to do with DEI or like I said, of the community. It had nothing to do with that. That was a saying amongst that was a saying amongst African Americans on remembering where you came from and where America has pushed us. Jim Crow, all those type of eras. So you can't just delete something and be like, well, wokeism is everything that encompasses history. Well, no, that's not true. The term was never tokened by any other race besides African Americans. It come from nowhere else. So it started with on the streets, and now it's become a mainstream media thing. Well, they've made it a negative connotation of African American people. Well, that was definitely a positive thing that African Americans held true. So then you come over here, now you want to delete DEI. Well, if you look at the news and you look at the statistics, I say read. Don't have your IQ level 10 and your flow is sitting on level 1. You have to read and know what statistics mean, right? How do you formulate statistics? So these are mathematical equations. And what is the old saying? Math don't lie. Numbers don't lie. So if numbers don't lie, statistically, DEI helps out who? It didn't help out African Americans any. But when you say DEI, everybody frowns up like it's the only thing black people had. What are you talking about, good sir? What are you saying, good sir? You don't know what you're talking about, good sir. Because statistically, it helps white women. Well, if it helps white women, why are we so mad? Because what old white men have done is deleted the real definition for DEI. Now, DEI was meant to help. I don't want to use minorities. That's not true. That's not true. It was supposed to help African Americans, our Latino brothers and sisters. That's what it was really supposed to help. It was supposed to help those two group of people. Asians were supposed to be helped. Because remember, when it helps African Americans, it just don't help African Americans. Laws don't get passed just to help African Americans. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. Please don't take it wrong. But what I'm saying is when it helps African American, it helps everybody. So DEI is a helper of everyone, and the biggest recipient of it happens to be white women. We're not mad about that. We're not mad about that. But you can't change the definition and make it seem like it was only for black people when statistic tells you it don't really help black people at all. That's what I mean by deletion. Deletion of real definitions hurts white people. Because when they want to define something and it doesn't work for them, all of a sudden it becomes, oh, well, that's their problem now. Because we have, in our interpretation of it, it helps us dramatically to define it like this. But then when it don't help them no more, then it becomes an African American problem. It becomes a Latino problem. It becomes an Asian problem. But you didn't even remember what your real definition was. Or sometimes you didn't even create the definition itself. And all of a sudden, you're just lying to yourself thinking that you know what the definition really is. But because you don't listen and you don't read, IQ level low, you don't understand what people are really trying to tell you. Just like when you were clapping, trying to get Trump elected. And black people sat back and said, not only is it not smart for me, But I don't think it's smart for you in your best interest to elect a person who does not care about you. That is an elitist. He doesn't make your money. He never did make your money. He was born into wealth. Not only did he's he born into wealth, he asks for more money. That's crazy. That's crazy. So remember, we talked about the other couple of days ago, talking about voting against your not voting against your interests, and that's exactly what you did, farmers. That's exactly what you did, my Latino brothers and sisters. Unfortunately, I gotta call it what it is. You voted against your interests because you didn't think what? You didn't think it benefited you because you thought it was only targeting African American people. So when it don't target you or it don't help you, you're not on the front lines anymore, right? You disappear. You poof, poof, bam, disappear. No one has ever seen you before. But now, remember the other day we talked about tears. How it's no reason for your tears because you voted for this. But African Americans have been sitting here telling you this whole time that didn't make no sense. You wasn't thinking. But all you could sit there and say was, well, the African American is trying to vote in an African American. Oops. No, how about we tell everybody that she ain't African American? What? But you tried to do the same thing with Obama, like he wasn't African American. I mean, per definition, his dad is African. He was born in America. If anybody is African American, per definition, it would have been Obama. I've been here 3, 4, 5 generations at this point. I'm thinking, wouldn't I just be American at this point? No. Because per definition, a definition that I did not create on, I did not vote on, I'm still considered African American. Somehow, some way. Per definition. So you see how when definitions do not help you, I'm sorry. Gotta call out the white people today. When it don't help you, all of a sudden, deletion of a definition becomes a thing for you. But that was not the original definition. It's because it doesn't fit your narrative anymore. All of a sudden, wokeism is everything to do with everything. It had nothing to do with nothing. Now it's a negative connotation. Everybody throws it up whenever they need. Oh, why are you being so woke? What are you talking about? Please. Because now it has all these subtexts. Please tell me, what do you think that woke is now? You could always go into the comments, drop a comment, please. Drop a comment, please, on what you think woke really is. And then look up the definition, Google it. All you got to do is say, hey, Google, what wokeism is? And Google will tell you what the real definition always stood for. But because you've been brainwashed by Fox News when Fox News was getting sued by millions, almost $1 billion with a B, almost $1 billion lawsuit, because it lies so bad. It's only called entertainment. It can't even be called news anymore. That's how bad Fox News lie. But that's where you get all your content from, right? All your content comes from Fox News, right? But it's been sued, right? Or just like when the Pentagon was deleting Black history because it was called DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion turn into deleting Black history. Well, per definition of diversity, equity, and inclusion don't sound like anything dealing with African American people at all. Food for thought today. So while we sit here and we're going to listen to this good old City Hall meeting today, see what good old John Whitmire lying about today, see how he's deleting history as we speak, deleting the history of Houston, deleting quote unquote downfalls that Sylvester Turner created. Don't know how that happened. But deleting history is a thing, right? When Sylvester was telling you, hey, if you agree to this contract agreement with the Fires Union, it would bankrupt the city. And then all of a sudden, you agreed to Fire's terms, and then you bankrupt the city over $300 million. Shortfall happened under your watch, but you're going to tell me that Sylvester did it? But this is what happens when you don't come to the table and negotiate, good sir. See how deleting history means something? Because the fire contract had not been agreed upon under Turner. They had a disagreement with Anise Parker, and it just so happened to roll into Turner's administration. So all of a sudden, John Whitmire, you deleted history and didn't even tell the truth where it actually came from. Did you ever say that, John? Why didn't you just tell the truth? It had something to do with Anise Parker. Former mayor Anise Parker created today's shortfall, if that's what you want to say, because that would be the truth. It wasn't Sylvester. Sylvester told you if you gave them the money, it would bankrupt the city. And here today, you agreed upon an agreement with the Fires Union, and you bankrupt the city. Ain't this on you, sir? Ain't this on you? Because Anise didn't want to give it to him. Sylvester didn't want to give it to him. But when you got your happy ass in office, you decided to, this is the best deal you could ever get. And you got what out of the fucking deal? Please tell me what you got out of the deal, because I don't see it. Less staff? If that was the game plan, I guess you won. But obviously, you're not reading well. IQ level non-existent. Dunzo. You thought that this was a great idea. And I'm pretty sure, just like your friend Elon Musk thought it was a great idea to hide his coattail with Donald Trump. Oh, Donald, where are you going, Donald? And now your Tesla's getting burned up. Now, again, I don't promote violence, okay? I don't promote it, okay? Any forms or fashions of it. But what I ain't gonna tell you to do is go against your own company rules, regs, and regulations and go to a party who don't care nothing about electrical vehicles, sir. That's called betrayal. And betrayal comes with a heavy fine. Now, all of a sudden, the FBI is so involved in saving little Elon's little cars and little trucks, but it still ain't involved in getting rid of the KKK or the Yahtzee groups that we know are in America, or the Proud Boys that's in America, because we arrested them and let them go. But now all of a sudden, people are protesting Teslas. I remember there was a history that was called the American Tea Party. Does everybody remember what happened with the Tea Party? When people were protesting and all of a sudden Things were getting thrown off a ship. Well, I can understand. You're going to say, well, Morris, the FBI wasn't created then. Well, true enough. But who got arrested during the Tea Party? Oh, American history don't tell you that, right? American history don't tell you that, right? Who was arrested during the Tea Party? He getting thrown off ships. Oh, different times, different rules for different folks? Or was the definition now deleted about what we did hundreds of years ago to meet a standard of people who was creating definitions? Now today that definition doesn't stand because they don't meet their standards. Are they not just protesting Elon Musk's behavior? The world may never know. But leave your comments here today. Let me read them. Let me think about it. It's all about learning, baby. It's all about learning. This ain't no hit to nobody. This ain't no jab. This ain't no lobo. I ain't going for nobody kneecaps or ankles or necks. I ain't going for nothing. It's all about learning together. It's all about learning and growing together. Let's come together for this one thing, y'all. Let's come for this one thing. We ain't never came together before. Let's come together one time. One time for the one time. I'll see y'all later, Houston. See y'all tomorrow. Good sirs, good ma'am. See y'all tomorrow. We'll do this again. Different topic, different day. Y'all have at it. Love y'all.